All right, and welcome back to the final leg. We're here for our second episode of the show, and we are going to jump right into it. We're talking about the IAAF World Athletes of the Year. So they just had an event this past Tuesday where they announced both the men and the women's winners for the World Athletes of the Year. I think there's a little bit of controversy potentially on both sides, but let's take a look at it. A couple weeks ago, they actually put out the top 5 finalists for the Athlete of the Year. So let's start with the women. First off, we had Katarina Ibarguen from Colombia, both the triple jump and the long jump. We had Shawnee Miller-Weibo from Bahamas for her performances at 200 and 400 meters. We then had Dina Asher-Smith from Great Britain for the amazing season she had in the 100 meters and the 200 meters. Next, we had Beatrice Kepco from Kenya dominating the 3,000 meter steeplechase. And finally, we had Nafissatou Thiam from Belgium in the heptathlon. So they announced the winner to be Katarina Ibarguen from Colombia for the long jump and triple jump. She was crowned that World Athlete of the Year for the women. And she absolutely dominated this year in both the long jump and the triple jump. She went on to go undefeated in the triple jump this year and had the world leading jump of 14.98, which was absolutely amazing. She had a lot of other jumps within that 14.9 range as well. She also dominated the long jump. She didn't have the world leading jump, but she went on to break her the Colombian national record. She went on to win multiple competitions. She won the Diamond League in both the long jump and the triple jump. And what was amazing about that is she first had to compete on Friday and in Zurich in the triple jump. Then she had to drive within less than 24 hours to compete in the long jump in Brussels, Belgium, right? So she won both of those within a span of 24 hours, which was absolutely amazing. So she did amazing this year. You know, the other ladies, we had Shawnee Miller-Weibo, who ran under 49 seconds, the first time any woman has run 48 since 2009, since Sonia Richards-Ross. And she went undefeated in both the 400 and the 200 meters, which was amazing. Dina Asher-Smith, she won the European Championships, got the world lead in both the 200 and then tied the world lead in the 100 meters, which was, you know, amazing. But she did have some inconsistencies, not winning all of her races this year. So that was kind of a hitch on her season. Beatrice Kepco, I personally had her as the World Athlete of the Year. She dominated the steeplechase. She lost one competition this year, but she broke the only world record on the women's side this year, taking 8 seconds off that previous world record that was set in 2016. And she also ran under 9 minutes this year on another occasion as well. So absolutely dominating that steeplechase. Again, she was my personal World Athlete of the Year. And Nafissatou Thiam, she actually did amazing this year in the heptathlon, had the world lead for that for the heptathlon. She won the World Indoor Championships in the event, in the pentathlon. I didn't have her in my top 10 personally. I think one of the controversies that comes about is Caster Semenya. So many people did have Caster on their top 5 because she absolutely dominated this season. You know, she hadn't lost an 800-meter race since who knows when, the past 2 or 3 years or so. She ran the 4th fastest time in history in the 800 meters. And then in addition to that, she had so many good races at 1500 meters going sub 4 minutes. Also, she went sub 50 seconds in that 400 meters. So she had an amazing year, one of the best years we've ever seen for an athlete of any level in any event. So not having her in the top 5, I think, was a little bit of a surprise to me. People can speculate on why the IAAF might have left her off, but, you know, that's for another story. So Katarina Ibarguen, she was the IAAF World Athlete of the Year for the women. Jumping over to the men's side, we had a lot of great men, a lot of consistent men, and I think, you know, they personally made the right choice in terms of the Athlete of the Year. So, top 5 men that they announced were Christian Coleman from the United States. He had an amazing season at 60 meters and 100 meters. Elya Kipchoge from Kenya, you know, he dominated the marathon, absolutely dominated. Everybody knows about him this year. Kevin Mayer from France, he broke that world record in the decathlon by a huge margin. He also won the World Indoor Championships in the heptathlon. Mondo Duplantis from Sweden, now going to LSU. He did amazing in the pole vault. He's been so consistent over the past couple of years, you know, trading wins with some of the best in the world. So he did amazing this year. And then Demong Samba from Qatar, absolutely dominating that 400-meter hurdle. So they chose Elya Kipchoge for the World Athlete of the Year on the men's side. And like I said, I also had him as the World Athlete of the Year. His season was absolutely amazing for a marathoner. Obviously the best season you can ever have, essentially. He started off by winning that London Marathon in 2:04, beating out an amazing field, one of the best fields we've ever seen there. Then came back, won the race in Berlin, won that marathon in 2:01, breaking that world record by a huge margin. I think he broke it by 78 seconds. So that was an amazing feat. I don't think anyone really saw that coming. I think people thought he would break the world record, but not by the amount that he did break it. So he did absolutely amazing there. He definitely deserved to be that World Athlete of the Year. Kevin Mayer, like I said, he broke the world record in the decathlon by a huge amount as well, but I think what set him back was how many decathlons he missed out on. So he wanted to do the European Championships. He started to compete there, but he ended up dropping out from that. He also had another decathlon in the year, and he ended up dropping out from that. So him only completing that one decathlon this year kind of set him back for that World Athlete of the Year, despite him having that amazing world record. Like I said, Christian Coleman, he dominated this year, specifically indoors in the 60 meters, where he broke the world record on 2 occasions, and he won the World Indoor Championship. So he did amazing. And then outdoors, he didn't have it as consistent of a season at 100 meters. It was injured a little bit earlier in the season, but he ended up finishing off the season with the Diamond League win in Brussels with a time of 9:79. That was absolutely amazing. Demong Samba, in those 400-meter hurdles, he absolutely dominated the competition. Undefeated for the year. All of his races were under 48 seconds. He had that amazing run in Paris where he went on to run 46.98, the second fastest time in history, the second man to go under 47 seconds. Only behind that world record Kevin Young set back in 1992. So he did absolutely amazing this year. And finally, Mondo Duplantis. Again, he did amazing as well. He jumped 6:05 to win the European Championships, the second highest jump in pole vault history outdoors, and I think the 4th highest jump all time, indoors or out. So he did amazing. I might have not had him in the top 5. I think you could have maybe switched him out for a couple people, but again, he did absolutely amazing, and he definitely deserves to be mentioned with the best. So those are the IAAF Athletes of the Year on both the men's and the women's side, Katarina Ibarguen and Elya Kipchoge. Let me know who you thought should have been the Athletes of the Year. If you agree or if you disagree, leave your comments below. I'll link to my blog where I told my top 5 on both the men's and women's side and gave my Athletes of the Year, so feel free to check that out. We'll be back again soon to recap some of the action that happened in the NCAA recently, so keep checking us out. Thanks.